All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are coming live from our Joburg office. Good morning and welcome back to the opening bell with myself, Tshepo and Ashley, and this is brought to you by TD Markets and TD Markets Academy every Mondays to Fridays at 9, streaming live on YouTube. I hope you guys are having a good morning so far. Let's get right into it. A lot has been happening, guys. A lot has been happening. We've been keeping an eye on what has been dominating the markets for the past 2 months, right? For the past month and 2 weeks, right? I mean, this week, the war enters its 7th week this week, all right? So we've been giving you guys updates. We've been keeping a very close eye on the developments and also looking at how price could react to the movement. Now, just a few updates this morning. We're gonna keep it very simple because there is a trading room later on today. So at 2 p.m. we're gonna go live on YouTube to have a look at the charts. But this morning we're keeping it very simple while we're preparing for the trading room later on. So first things first, all right. The latest update on the war, on the Middle East tension, is that the ceasefire deadline is today. The proposed ceasefire, 2-week ceasefire deadline ends today. And there's been talks, there's been rumors of an extension, but the US president said he's not going to extend the ceasefire without any deal, right? Now, as a consequence, the US and Iran are going to begin their second round of talks, which is scheduled for tonight, I believe tonight or sometime today, but I believe it's tonight. So the US delegates, which includes the US vice president and obviously other delegates, are in Iran right now in Islamabad to commence with the second round of talks. So that is the update, right? In terms of the market movements, nothing has happened so far, right? The markets are muted. The markets are awaiting what's going to happen when the ceasefire ends. That's point number one. Point number two, what is going to happen? What is going to be the outcome of the second round of talks, right? As a result, like I said, the market hasn't moved. Gold hasn't moved. UK oil, Brent crude, WTI have not moved, all right? So we just have to wait. But those are the updates in terms of the war, all right? So do keep a very close eye on the market movements. Nothing is moving at the moment. The market's a little bit quiet. So let's see later on today what is going to happen, all right? What is going to happen? Now, that's the first update. The second update, which the markets are also keeping a very close eye on, is the developments regarding the next FOMC meeting, right? The next Federal Open Market Committee meeting. Now, today, the newly elected or the soon to become Fed chair, who goes by the name Kevin Wash, is due to testify before the Senate committee, and that is going to take place today. All right. Now, the Senate committee is a very important committee, right? So Kevin Wash, President Trump's nominee to become the Fed chair, like I said, is scheduled to testify today. So you guys know, right, that the US president wants lower interest rates. So now the current Fed chair is not giving in, right? And there is pressure, there's political pressure to lower interest rates. So as a result, President Trump, the US president, has elected someone to become Fed chair who he believes is going to lower interest rates. And he goes by the name Kevin Wash. So the markets are going to keep an eye on this testimony. He already presented his opening statement, right? His opening statement stresses a disciplined, mandate-focused Fed where he stresses the importance of the monetary policy's independence, right? He believes that the monetary policy independence is essential, okay? And also he stressed about inflation. We know inflation in every nation, in every economy, that is one of the main drivers of the economy. So inflation is a choice and the Fed must take responsibility of it. This is what he said, all right? So low inflation is the Fed's mandate, right? So it's going to be interesting to see what he is going to say in his testimony. So guys, keep a very close eye. You can watch this. It's going to be streaming on YouTube. It's going to be streaming on on the news platforms on YouTube. Keep an eye on that, because this will give you an idea of what is going to happen next month, what is going to happen in the next FOMC meeting, because the Fed chair, the current Fed chair, Jerome Powell, is still the Fed chair, right? Now, his term is going to end next month in May, and it is expected for Kevin Walsh to take his place. But now there's been other developments. There's been the DOJ investigation into the Fed's renovations and all of that. So there are other developments which we're not going to look at the moment. But what's important right now, is the testimony. All right. So keep a very close eye on that, guys. Keep a very close eye on that, and we will then see how the market will move. Now, in terms of the war, I'm just going to slightly go back. In terms of the war, nothing is happening. The markets are not moving at the moment. The direction that we've been talking about, that's what's creating movements right now. All right. So the markets are muted. Let's see what's going to happen later on today. We could have some movements later on in the evening. All right. And secondly, the testimony. Keep an eye on that. The next FOMC meeting is on the 29th of April. That is when they will be announcing interest rates. All right. It is one of the biggest drivers in the market. It always affects the market. It always affects the market. That's when the interest rates are announced. Right. So that's basically it, guys. All right. So this is in preparation for later on at 2 p.m. Our trading room at 2 p.m. We're going to have a look at the charts, but I can tell you right now that the markets are not moving as yet. Gold is just consolidating. US oil is trying to pick up momentum towards the upside after that heavy drop. And this is exactly what we spoke about yesterday. All right. So do keep a very close eye on this, on these latest developments. All right. So in closing, I'm just going to have a look at the German 30 in closing, and then we're going to reserve all the other ones for later on, right? So German 30 is moving in line with what we spoke about. The last time we spoke about German 30, we said it is most likely going to break this low. Right, because of this formation. This is a pattern that we are used to, that we know. It is most likely going to break this low, grab some liquidity here, and then anywhere around this area, we're going to then look for price to push up. So this is a continuation towards the upside. So it broke this low, and then it has created a low here. Now it's going up. All right. So where is the market going? The market is going back to this high. That is where it's going. So this one hasn't changed. Right. It is still the way it is when we spoke about it. It has not changed. So we're anticipating German 30 to continue moving towards the upside. So it's just a matter of time before your setups form for some trading opportunities to the upside. All right. So let's continue this later on at 2 p.m. So German 30, there's your analysis. And yeah, so let's see what's going to happen later on today, guys. All right. Keep a very close eye. And yeah, we will then bring you guys more updates later on today. All right. So that's it from my side. Guys. If you want to open up an account, the email, the website is on the screen. The email address is also on the screen if you guys have some questions. And we will meet you guys later on at 2 p.m. Cheers. Have a good one and enjoy.